Post-Hypnotic Press presents Arrow Through the Axes, Odyssey of a Slave, Book 3, by Patrick Bowman. Narrated by Gerard Doyle.
Chapter 1. The Curse of Helios. She's not natural, no way. Shouldn't be following on us like that, no, never. Frowning at the guttural Greek voices, I leaned on the stern rail and tried to recapture my thoughts. Safely away from the shore, the Pelagios was now catching enough breeze to leave a visible wake. Behind us lay the island where we'd stayed for the last month, held prisoner by an insistent wind that had risen to push us back each time we had tried to leave. But our escape wasn't the main thing on my mind. It was what I'd learned just before we'd pushed off the beach. My sister was alive. I felt a rare smile lift the corners of my mouth. For months I'd been certain Melantha was dead, killed by the same Greeks who had enslaved me. Now that I knew she was alive, I was going to find her. Voices interrupted my thoughts again. Never seen that before. Faster than us, sure. Maybe slower, maybe going another way. But following us? Never. I sighed and turned my head to see Lycos and Lykorgos, two of the younger Greek soldiers, gazing anxiously upward from the rear rowing bench. Directly behind us, a small black cloud hung low in an otherwise blue sky, hiding the sun. Sitting idle at their rowing benches while we were under sail, the rest of the crew were muttering, casting anxious glances skyward. Up in the bow, Lopex, commander of the Greeks, reached a decision. "Out oars, men," he called. "Phidios, set a pace. Prokoros, same direction." Waves began slapping at the hull as the oars bit into the water, but it quickly became clear that the cloud was keeping up with us. I peered up at it and shivered. Was I imagining things, or did the centre of the cloud look like a closed eye? I'd hoped that by escaping the island we'd also evaded its curse, but now with the cloud above us, I knew with sick certainty that we hadn't. Lopex was studying the cloud carefully from the bow deck. He gestured to Xanthos, who obediently twisted his steering oar in the water to take the Pelagios on a gentle turn to starboard. Not much, but enough that the wind could carry the cloud past us to port. It didn't. As every eye on the ship watched, the cloud visibly changed course, tracking us. The ship began pitching more heavily, and I realized the wind was picking up, spume blowing off the tops of the waves. Maybe the fates had already judged us. Perhaps what came next would have happened anyway. Just the same, Lopex's next move was exactly the wrong one. "Adelphos and Polites, furl the sail. Portside rowers, backward on my signal. If we can't outrun it, let's see if it can turn corners." He waved to Phidios, who immediately began the stiff-armed gestures to synchronize the new rowing pattern. For a heavily laden ship, the Pelagios turned quickly, bringing us around into the wind, now rocking the ship with regular heavy gusts. "Both sides standard row. Watch Phidios. Go!" Lopex roared over the rising gale. All eyes were turned upwards, mouths moving, as each man prayed to his favourite god that the cloud would pass us by. The gods weren't listening. Turning into the wind left us nearly motionless, despite the exertions of the sweating rowers, and the cloud caught up immediately. I held my breath, hoping it might yet blow past, but as it reached a point directly overhead, it stopped. The Greeks peered up fearfully as the cloud began to grow, filling the sky above us like the slow wingspread of a monstrous hunting bird. It spat a sudden torrent of hard rain at us, rain that stung as it struck. As I clung nervously to the stern rail, watching Xanthos...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?